How do subcultures create secret linguistic codes? Imagine a world where words are more than just words, where they become tools for connection and protection. Subcultures often develop their own secret languages to stand apart and stay safe. These codes are not random. They are carefully crafted systems of words, symbols, or gestures that carry meanings only understood by members. This process begins when a group needs to keep their conversations private from outsiders or wants to show loyalty. They might invent new words, change the meaning of existing ones, or use symbols that look ordinary but mean something special inside the group. For example, slang is a common way subcultures create these secret codes. Teenagers often use slang words that outsiders might not understand, like IYKYK, which means, if you know, you know. This signals that only certain people get the message. Jargon is another tool, especially in groups like musicians or gamers, where specific terms help members communicate quickly and precisely. These words often come from existing languages but are adapted or combined in new ways. Some groups borrow from history or other languages to make their codes more complex. Secret societies, for instance, have used ciphers like the pigpen cipher, which replaces letters with symbols arranged in grids. This makes messages unreadable to outsiders. Spies also use coded names and slang to hide identities and plans. Words like dead drop refer to secret ways of exchanging information without direct contact. Creating these codes involves several steps. First, the group feels the need for secrecy or to show they belong. Then, members come up with new words or adapt old ones to fit their needs. Everyone in the group must learn and use the code consistently for it to work. Over time, the codes change and evolve, staying ahead of outsiders trying to decode them. This keeps the communication secure and the group united. Prison inmates, for example, use tap codes, which are grids tapped out on walls or objects to send messages secretly. Online communities develop acronyms like IYKYK to signal in-group membership. During World War II, Navajo soldiers used their native language and invented new terms to encode military messages, making them nearly impossible for enemies to understand. In sociolinguistics, which studies how language connects with society, these secret codes show how language is more than just words. They are tools for identity, power, and resistance. These codes help groups feel connected and protected, creating a shared culture within their community. For example, you might say, the graffiti artists created a secret slang only they understood, strengthening their bond. Or, during the war, soldiers used code names and slang to keep their plans safe. Or even, prisoners tapped messages on the walls using a tap code to stay connected despite being locked away. So, subcultures craft secret linguistic codes by mixing creativity with social needs. They build languages within languages that serve practical purposes and symbolize belonging. These codes are a way for groups to speak in a way that outsiders cannot understand, keeping their conversations private and their community strong.